Lost Girl is a show about a girl named Bo, which is the character that I play, and her journey from growing up believing that she was human and just like everybody else. At the beginning of the series, she learns that she's not human. She's actually part of a fae world, and that she is a succubus, which is a creature that feeds on sexual energy. So it's a lot to take in for Bo in the beginning, but it explains a lot of confusion that she had growing up. But once she gets all those questions answered, it opens the door to many more questions. So the series sort of unfolds from there. And she meets a lot of interesting characters and creatures along the way and forms some very strong friendships and a few lovers as well. I think Bo is, she's a very, very strong character. That's what I loved about the show. It was such a strong female lead role. And she, because she grew up with so much confusion in her life, it sort of forced her to be independent and to make decisions and think quickly on her feet. And that's something she sort of brings into the first season. She's extremely loyal, very stubborn, and will stand up for her friends and for her own beliefs, sometimes to her own detriment. But she's very much wants to be a trailblazer. Yeah, I mean, you never know how successful something would be, but honestly, making season one, I think everyone knew it was a special show. It was different. The possibilities were sort of endless within the writing, and once people started seeing it, I loved the response. And what's great now that people have seen it, when people recognize me on the street, it's all different kinds of people. The demographic is really broad, which I love, and it's a really nice response, and people care. People are really invested in these relationships, between Bo and Dysen and Bo and Lauren and Bo and Kenzi, and they want to see where they're going to go. Well, I think in the beginning, Bo was very stubborn, protective of herself, and she sort of slowly opened herself up to this world. So at the end of season one, she learned a lot about her background, which brought a lot of more questions to mind for her. But I think that she now is starting to recognize her responsibility in this world, that maybe her responsibility is a lot broader than she thought it was, and that maybe she has to become more of the protector than the protected. And so I think she's not going to be quite so cavalier, even though she's still stubborn, even though she still, wants to fight for what she believes in. She has to be a little bit more cautious and know how to play the system a little bit to protect the people around her. It's a really fun show to be on, and I love that every time I get a new script, it's like, oh wow, they come up with these amazing creatures that are that are going to come into the show and into Bo's life, and I love that the Fae feed on human emotion and luck and greed and all of these sort of intangible things. So it's really fun, and it's also fun to get to do some fights, and I have a lot of people around me that can make me look pretty cool. Bo is definitely an equal opportunity succubus and creature, and she has relationships with men and women. She has relationships with fae and humans. She has to kind of behave differently when it comes to the fae world and the human world. But she, it's interesting to play a sexual creature who sort of covers a vast array of beings. I think people are drawn to the series because of, it's interesting to see this supernatural world explored, but they are drawn to the relationships on the show, the themes that are explored, like loyalty and friendship and love, and it's definitely something that appeals to a lot of people. Well, I think people for season 2, people can expect a lot of what they loved about season 1. You know, we will explore more of the Fae mythology, and we'll go deeper into that, which I think people will love. But I think people can also expect Bo and her relationships to become a little more complicated, become a little more challenged, for her friendships to grow stronger, and for Bo to really feel a sense of purpose that's a little bit bigger than her. I think she sees it out there, and she knows that she has to be a little bit smarter, stronger, take her time and be a little bit more cautious, because she's starting to see this world unfold around her and realizes that she plays a key role in that world. I think Bo and Kenzi are like, it's a sister relationship. It's sort of big sister, little sister. They're protectors of each other. They're best friends. I think they would do anything for each other. And they're family, instant family. They're both completely, outcasts in their own worlds and on their own, but they met and became this instant family. And I think Bo was always sort of afraid that people wouldn't like her because once they found out what she is. But Kenzi found that out and said, okay, great, so what's next? I think that Bo met Dyson, and there was an instant attraction, but it's a complicated relationship. I think that Bo does trust Dyson and knows that he is there for her, but it's certainly a complicated relationship. And Dyson doesn't give it up easy. You got to really push him to get him to open up. And I think that that's something that attracts Bo to him.